Hi kids, it's me, Bunny, with another junk journal, and this one is called Lucid Dreams, and it's very fantastical, if that's a word. And you can see on the front, it's an image that you might see in a dream, someone surrounded by the wild animals, and there's some lace. It is a hardcover. And it has this very pretty fabric covering it, and a purple velvet sash holds it together, and it is quite chunky, so it needs to be held together. There we go. Off with you. And when we open it up, we see a butterfly wing. And I think I need to adjust my camera or my book. How's that? That's good. A butterfly wing. And the graphics inside, this is by Weathered Textures on Etsy. And the graphics on the tags that I used are by After Midnight Designs on Etsy. And it's very pretty tags. Tags are all blank on the back so you can write on them. In this pocket you have journaling cards, which are blank on the back so you can write on them. There's a little half kitty cat. And there's a little note from me about this journal explaining how it can be used for those unfamiliar with such a thing. I put lace on some of the edges, and you'll see little bits and bobs throughout. Here's some vintage sheet music, Sing Me to Sleep, and vintage ledger paper. This is from a vintage Creole cookbook. And in this pocket we have a journaling card and another journaling card. And this is a vintage, turn upside down, a vintage photograph of a young lady. Here is some vintage ephemera. All the ephemera and photographs in here are authentic. Whoops, authentic vintage. And this is from a wholesale grocer's receipt. Lost my place. And of course the tag, and a little itsy bitsy envelope with a little itsy bitsy journaling card inside. This is from a 1929 high school yearbook. And there's another journaling card. It's attached to some handmade paper. And this is more ledger paper. The blank pages here are all coffee or tea dyed. And there's a doily. And a page from a vintage book. And here's a coffee dyed bag that has the journaling card and a mysterious photograph, mysterious man. Excuse me. In the center of the signature we have another butterfly. Continuing on, here is a little thing that flips open and has some journaling cards in it. There's one up there. Here's another coffee dyed bag with a journaling card and some vintage ephemera, something foreign. And under this flap is that's from some vintage ephemera, cut off from something, some receipt. More of the yearbook. More journaling cards. What are they doing to that fish? And a tag. More of the cookbook. More vintage music. Sheet music. More journaling cards. Dancing with Bubbles. Only in Our Dreams. And here is a vintage ephemera protected travel funds. It's I believe it's an ad for them. And she's dancing with a cat. And in between the first and second signatures, I've put a little notebook, which is sort of like the junk journal, only in miniature. And it's got pages you can write in. In this pocket, more journaling cards. No, she's not naked, it's just the light. And a tag. Excuse me. There's more handmade paper, different color. Page from another vintage book. Here's some coffee dyed polka dot paper. More sheet music, a lullaby. And in this pocket we have more journaling cards and a vintage ephemera, employer's report of taxable wages paid to each employee. And it's blank, so it must not have been used. Here's an envelope, small envelope with a little journaling card and another little journaling card. And that's a nice odd picture. I always thought that was interesting. More vintage pages. In this pocket, more journaling cards, dreamy images. And here's a photograph of someone apparently milking a cow. Only in your dreams, man. Vintage ephemera, journaling cards. Vogue had some of the best covers. And here is some ephemera, which I believe is it's a share in a company, which I'm sure is long gone. Here's a little miniature book about the Battle of First Manassas. Learn your history while you're in here. Here's more journaling cards. And a little piece of ephemera, a little ticket. And this tag has a pocket on the back with more vintage tickets in it. And here is a big pocket, and in it is another miniature notebook, this one even smaller. Very cute. Jot down your ideas. And here's more journaling cards. Dreamy images. And a photo of, I believe it's a bunch of cows. It's kind of hard to tell. Here's the fabric ruffle. And this bag is a vintage postcard showing Montpelier. And attached to this page is a cabinet photo of a handsome young gentleman. And this was a flyleaf out of an old book that I thought looked kind of neat. More handmade paper. More journaling cards. And a tag. And itsy bitsy envelope with itsy bitsy cards inside. There's another butterfly in the center of this one. Butterflies are rather dreamy, don't you think? Here's the mile-long scarf. That was from some movie of the 40s or 50s. Probably Gene Kelly movie. And here's some more vintage ephemera. Here's a coffee-dyed bag with a really pretty ribbon from India on it, embroidered. And inside is a lovely lady with a swan. On here I did some modeling paste flowers, a little 3D effect. There's some more journaling cards, dreamy landscape, and a tag. There are a lot of little details that you can't see here that whoever buys it will see. Here's a beautiful golden embroidered ribbon from India. Here's a little thing that you pull open the flap and pull it out. And there's some extra writing space for you. I put this vintage ticket in there to sort of give whoever is looking at it the hint that it opens. Vintage ephemera, more handmade paper, and here's some more interesting journaling cards, and a vintage photo, and a tag, and more vintage ephemera. Burlington County Trust Company. This month's interest due on bond mortgage. Whatever. Here's another fabric ruffle. I'm very lackadaisical today. More pretty journaling cards. And here's another small envelope with small ephemera, or I mean small cards in it. More pretty cards. To dance like Pavlova. Ephemera. And we're nearing the end. I love this pink lady. And more dreamy scenes. And vintage ephemera. And a tag. And another piece of vintage ephemera. This is a collector's stub. Assessment curb, sidewalk curb, or gutter assessment notice. Okay. And then there's another butterfly wing in the back. And that's the journal, Lucid Dreams. Be sure to visit my Etsy shop and learn more about it. Bye-bye.